Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about text editor and integrated development environment. So where do we write our C program? You can write your code either in any text editor such as Notepad installed in your system or in integrated development environment IDE. What is an IDE? An IDE is a software for building applications with ease that combines common developer tools into a single graphical user interface. For example, CodeBlock, DevC++, etc. Which one should I use? Text editor or IDE? Although you can use any simple text editor installed in your system, it is recommended to use IDE for this course. IDE has many benefits over simple text editor, such as IDE makes a lot of redundant tasks like compiling and running easy. IDE provides us with necessary tools such as debugging tools. IDE helps us highlighting the keywords and the syntax. Let me demonstrate you all this. Uh, at first, let us start with a simple notepad. So here I have written a simple C program to print hello world in notepad. If I want to run in notepad, I will have to do like this. First of all, I have to look at that file, and this is our file source code. Now I want to before you have to install a compiler. I have already installed a compiler. This is not necessary for our course, I'm just demonstrating. I have already installed a GCC compiler. Now let us run this, compile this code and then run. Let us compile this file. GCC dash G, and our file name is first.c. So as you can see, our file is compiled, and now we have to run it. To run it, let us see first directory. This is our first.c source code, and this a.exe is the executable code that was produced or obtained. Now we have to load this executable file to the RAM, and so that CPU can execute it. Let us run it. So as you can see here, hello world is printed on the screen. So this is how you would be writing code in notepad, but this is not very efficient, because if I want to change the code, now I'll have to head back to notepad and then change whatever my changes was. Let us suppose I wanted to add exclamation marks over here, then I will save this file. After saving this file, I will go here to the terminal, and again I will compile that file. After compiling, I will then run it. So as you can see, here is the compiled and executed version of the file, and this is very difficult for us, because as you can remember, this process will have to be done in many times while we code. So this is not very efficient for us. Instead, what we use is called a IDE, or integrated development environment, where every developer tools that are necessary with our project is integrated or added to into a single software, or combined in a single software that we call IDE. Now let us demonstrate some IDE. Uh, for this purpose, what you can do is, you can head back to code block site. Okay, and go to downloads and into the binary sections. Let me demonstrate you. Go to code block site here and go to downloads and download the binary release. And since I am using Windows 10, I will be using this link. So from here, if you read here carefully, the two nodes are given here, and this is one we are interested in because it already has GCC compiler. Okay, so this file, we will be downloading this file, codeblocks 20.03 Ming W setup, which is this one. So you can head up over here or here and download and set up it. It is a very simple process, so we are not going to uh, waste our time here. You can download from here or here and install it. So after installing your IDE, and this let us go through these 3 points once again. IDE makes a lot of redundant tasks like compiling and running easy. As I have shown you before in Notepad, it was very difficult to switch from one window to another window and change over there, and again here compiling and running in the terminal. It is some bit of redundant task, and it won't be very good in the long run. So next point is IDE provides us with necessary tools such as debugging. In the Notepad, we could not debug our code, but when we have installed our IDE, it provides us with debugging tools. We will look at that next. So let us see what I meant by that. So this is our code block, and I have written a very simple program. You don't need to understand this problem. We will be writing it later on. I am just trying to show some debugging option available here. If you look at the red button here, this is called debug or continue button. Okay, but before debugging, I can mark some points. Okay, that is also called breakpoints. Let us set us breakpoints. You can just left click over the line where you would like to set a breakpoint. For example, over this printf and over this printf, I would like to look. Okay, I would like to check, or I would like to debug. So when I press debug button, an output screen will be shown just like that. It is showing in my screen right now. So this is a debugging output console. So let us go through this. So now when I press this step in next line option, look at here. Okay, we'd also like to watch some watches to see our variables. Okay, let me attach it here. So, okay, this is how you would add watches. From this debug option, go to debugging windows and click on watches. So at this point we have only one local variable I, this one, and it has value 0 since we initialize it with 0 over here. Okay, and this is the position where our current console is working. And next, when I press next line, now it is at here. Okay, and then look at the output screen. The value of I is 0. This line is printed one time. If I run next time, the cursor moved over here, and now it is ready to print this value. So when I press next line, the value of I is 1. Okay, look over here also. What is the I also changes over here. So when I press next line, the value of I changes to 2, and it is waiting for my breakpoint over here. Okay, we will add a breakpoint where we want to debug. So when I say next line, the value of I is 2, therefore the value of I is 2 is printed. Okay, and it will go up to 4. Next line, the value of I changes to 3 over our watches, and now when this line will be executed, the value of I would be 3, like this. The value of I is 3. Now the I value will be changing to 4. I is changed to 4. Now 4 is less than 5 is true, so it is waiting for our breakpoint. So when I press next, the value of I is 4. Okay, now the value of I will change to 5. The value of I changed to 5, but since 5 is less than 5 is false, that's why it skipped over the for loop and went to this line. Okay, now we are in here. So the final value of I was 5, remember it. Now when this function executes, I am passing I. Okay, the I means 5. I am passing 5 to this function, and this 5 will be cached by x. Okay, this x will, the value of x will be 5, and the value of x is 5 will be printed over here. Now let us see next line, and here we can see functional arguments because we are on the function. Okay, we are inside our user defined function, and you can see it has used a term arguments. Okay, this is called arguments. When you define a function, these parameters or these inputs are called arguments. When you pass a function like this I, this is passing by value, this is called function parameters. Okay, this I is a function parameter and this x is a function arguments. There is a slight difference in terminology. So I am at here, this line is waiting to be executed. So when I press next, the value of x is 5 and the cursor is showing up to here. Okay, when I press next, the cursor came back. Okay, since the function is over, now next line will be my return 0, so it is showing over here. So when I press next, so it comes to the end of our main function. So if I press next again, the program will be over. So this is how the function is over. This our task is over. Okay, so that was what I meant. And also I forgot you to show this highlighting the keywords and the syntax part. Wait a second. So let us look at those highlighting parts, what I meant by those. So if you look at this code block, these keywords, these are keywords, this int, this return is a keyword in our C programming. Okay, that's why these are highlighted. These are preprocessor directives and they are highlighted in green, and they are bold and blue, and these are blue for string. Okay, there is some kind of color coding and syntax highlighting, and it also prevents us from using any keyword. Like if I want to store a say case, int case is equal to 1, I am not allowed to do so because case cannot be used as a variable, it is a keyword. But if I had written this code in notepad, I would have not known because there is no syntax highlighting or color coding, sorry. So that was what I meant by that last point. So IDE makes a lot of redundant tasks like compiling and running easy. It was easy for us to compile and run in code block. Let us see. So if I wanted to compile and run, this is our compile button, compilation is done, and if I want to run, I will press this button and the output will be shown in the screen. So this is how compiler will work. Okay, it is very easy for us. So if I want to change some value, let us say I want to change here, all I have to do is compile and press run, and this code will work. So it is very easy for us using IDE. Okay, and IDE provides us with necessary tools such as debugging tools. We just saw that, and IDE helps us by highlighting the keywords and the syntax. Okay. Next, we will let's look at the overview of our course. Since this is the last video of our first section, fundamentals of computer, we started with definition of computer in our Neumann architectures. Then we talked about a little bits about bits and bytes. Then we move on to the memory and how our computer starts or boots. Then we differentiated between instruction program and the software. We classified programming language as high level and low level. Then we understood that we need some translator to convert from high level to low level, and we discussed about those. And now this is the last video of this section, text editor versus integrated development environment. I hope you have understand, and let us start now the second section of this course. Thank you for watching.